Dr. Barry Marshall, the man who drank ulcer bacteria, a medical mystery and a radical theory. For decades, doctors believed stomach ulcers were the result of stress, poor diet, and too much coffee. The gut was thought to be too acidic for bacteria to survive, let alone thrive. In biopsy samples from ulcer patients, they consistently found the same spiral-shaped bacterium. But in the early 1980s, two Australian researchers noticed something strange. Helicobacter. Marshall proposed something outrageous at the time. Ulcers weren't psychological, they were bacterial. The reaction from the scientific community: mockery, rejection, skepticism. Marshall's theory flew in the face of accepted wisdom. No one wanted to believe that such a simple organism could be behind such a painful, chronic condition. Desperate times call for gross measures. Unable to get funding or ethical approval for a formal clinical trial, Dr. Marshall did what few scientists would ever dare. He became his own guinea pig. In 1984, at just 32 years old, Marshall prepared a petri dish of H. pylori cultured from a patient. And then, in a moment that would change medical history, he drank it. What happened next? Within days, Marshall began suffering from nausea, inflammation of the stomach lining. He didn't develop full-blown ulcers. He stopped the experiment early, but the results were undeniable and recovered. What once required years of acid suppression therapy or surgery could now be cured with a short course of antibiotics. For the discovery of the bacterium Helicobacter pylori and its role in gastritis and peptic ulcer disease. He had induced illness by ingesting H. Then, to prove his theory even further, he took a course of antibiotics. Legacy: from laughter to Nobel laureate. Marshall and Warren's discovery eventually forced a complete re-evaluation of how doctors treat ulcers. In 2005, the two were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Millions have benefited from their stubborn refusal to accept conventional wisdom. Quote of the century: sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and some bacteria. Dr. Barry Marshall. Why this still matters. Marshall's experiment is one of the most iconic examples of scientific self that echoes other bold figures in medical history. But it's also a lesson in challenging dogma, trusting your data, doing what it takes to prove the truth. Because sometimes, the biggest breakthroughs start with someone willing to say, everyone else is wrong, let me prove it.